Ladies and gentlemen, Raila Amolo Odinga has always won the hearts of many Kenyans. Na tangu zamani amekuwa akihusishwa na kuwatetea wanyonge. Tangu zamani amewahi kuhusishwa na wale watu ambao wako katika tabaka la chini, the little hustlers. And that is why when you look at Raila Amolo Odinga, he has always gotten his support from the slums, the people from low income, and they are the majority in this country, if you ask me. Kwa sababu, the wealth of this country is in the hands of less than 2% Kenyans. The rest, who are the majority, wapo katika tabaka la chini, wasakatoge ambao they are not even sure of whether they will eat breakfast in the morning, forget about supper, and they are not even sure whether their children will go to school because of lack of school fees. They cannot afford anything. So Raila Amolo Odinga amekuwa akiwatetea watao kwa muda mrefu. And I'm saying this because when I look at the agenda of Raila Amolo Odinga, one thing that he has always done is to fight for the poor, the cost of living. And the cost of living should remain an active agenda in Azimio. When I look at Azimio in the national dialogue, na the discussion among the wale watu wa Azimio, it's like we are losing this debate of the high cost of living. The high cost of living is biting. The price of commodities is still very high. Many people have forgotten kama kulikuwa na sukari. Hata mimi, by the way, I can't remember when I last used or bought sugar, sababu ya ile bei ambayo ni ya juu sana. And it is not by choice, by the way. It has just happened that many people cannot afford, and I'm not asking anybody to buy for me sugar. Sitaki, nimezoea. Kwa kile ambacho tunaweza kusema ni kwamba Azimio is not focusing clearly on the high cost of living. And this one is favoring Kenya Kwanza. Kwa sababu unajua, unapowauliza hawa jamaa wa Kenya Kwanza lolote, when you talk about the high cost of living, when you talk about the school fees, when you talk about the dollar, when you talk about bei ya petroli, when you talk about the cost of electricity, the answer that is they are usually giving is that there is fertilizer subsidies that we shall have. Tutakuwa mavuno mengi sana, na baada ya mavuno the cost of living will come down. But let me ask you, ladies and gentlemen, what is the relationship between bumper harvest and something like the cost of electricity? How is it going to come down? How is the cost of electricity going to come down? Bei ya petroli itashuka namna gani? Bei ya mafuta taa yatashuka namna gani? Itashuka namna gani? Even if we have more than 60 million bags of maize and grains and whatnot. This discussion, mswada ama zungumzo, it is just meant to divert the attention of the Kenyans, majority of Kenyans who are suffering. That is the truth of the matter. Kwa sababu when I look at Azimio need to focus on a number of issues. Because once they lose this issue, once they start focusing on other issues, I think we are likely to lose it. And it will be too bad for Azimio. Number one that we should focus, I've said, is high cost of living. Let us remain focusing on the cost of living. Let Azimio continue talking and reminding the government that the cost of living is very high. And unless it is addressed, there's no way that people are going to see the benefit of being Kenyans. Kule kujivunia kuwa Mkenya, itakuwa ni kujihurumia tu kuwa Mkenya. And that one, I think, should be the main focus, because when you look at everything is working in favor of Azimio. Lakini sasa ni kana kwamba wanaenda wakisahau lile swala la gharama ya maisha kupanda kadiri wakati unavyopanda. Yes, we are not refuting that we are likely to get a bumper harvest, but it is not because of Azimio. It is not because of Kenya Kwanza. It is because of the good rains, because of the climate, Even if the fertilizer input has contributed, I believe that the credit should go to the farmers, not to the government. And I think hata ile bei ya uga bado haijashuka kusema ukweli. Kama imeshuka ni kitu kidogo sana, something that is negligible. And I know that within no time bei itarudi ile juu. Na inaweza, by the way, we are like to within 6 or 7 months unaweza kupata tukinunua uga zaidi ya shilingi 300. That is something that I would like you to check maybe after 6 months, tuangalie tutakuwa tukinunua uga wa ugali au uga wa ngano hela gapi, and you are likely to be buying more than 300 shilling. This thing is temporary and just happen whenever ni wakati wa mavuno, kwa sababu unapoenda kule kwa mfano Nyandarua unapata ni wakati wa mavuno wa viazi, unapoenda kule Narok vile vile viazi vinavunwa, mahidi yavunwa mahali kwingi. So you expect this to happen. It has been happening before. It is not the first time. The second thing that Raila and his team need to focus is about elections. It's about the servers. In fact, if the servers do not be opened, I don't see the need of this country going to the elections. If the servers will not be opened, if the servers will not be audited by an independent institution, a reliable institution like now the PricewaterhouseCoopers, they are very reliable. I don't think it is important for Azimio to participate in elections. Kwamba uchaguzi utaibwa, huo ni ukweli wa mambo. And that is why you see America heavily involved in Kenyan affairs. That is why you see, kwa sababu unapoangalia utaona kwamba America has high stakes in Kenyan elections. That is the truth of the matter. The same case applies to the British government. They have high stake, they have a lot of interest in Kenya. Unless the servers are opened, why should we go for elections? Ladies and gentlemen, what will have changed? Because I have always opined, I've been supporting Raila Odinga for quite some time, since the time he supported Mwai Kibaki, and even before that, I had also supported Raila Odinga, and I know he's a good person. I know he means well for this country, but there's no way that we are going to go to another election if the servers are not opened. It will be very, very unfair to his supporters. It will be very, very unfair even to Azimio supporters. Even if it is Kalonzo who will be the presidential candidate, what factors will have changed? If I may ask. Iko haja gani? So I think it is important for Azimio to push hard, even if it means asking Kenyans to go back for picketing, peaceful demonstrations, even if it calls for that, so be it. Kwa sababu iko haja gani ya kuendelea na watu kama wengine? Kwa sababu I have always opined that there is one mistake that Raila made last elections, kwamba he agreed to go to the elections with Chebukati, and although he had the support of the government, I think this one should not have happened. And because he had all the chance, because alikuwa karibu sana na Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, they could have used the chance to do away with Chebukati and maybe get the right chairman. Labda Cherera ndiye angekuwa mwenyekiti. Because if I may ask you, ladies and gentlemen, if Cherera was the chairperson of IBC, who would be the person in State House today? I think Raila, definitely should be Raila Odinga. Because you see, elections are not won during the elections. That is one thing that I have always told my friends and members of this channel. Elections is a process. And as we sit down here, even as I go on air, somebody is very busy planning for the 2027 general elections. The process is as good as the results. The process is very, very important. Who are the members of the Secretariat of IBC? How fair are they? And until IBC is also reconstituted, including the Secretariat, not much will have changed for this country. No much, in fact, we cannot expect the different results, because you cannot get different results if you continue doing things in the same way. You cannot get different results with the current IBC. IBC is currently constituted, cannot give a verifiable elections and a fair elections, if you ask me. So it is very, very important that if Azimio want Azimio supporters to go to the elections, the servers, and I repeat, the servers must be opened. And I think even in that dialogue, Azimio should not accept any other agenda. If the two agendas are not addressed, the high cost of living should be addressed and discussed, methods of how the government is going to lower the cost of living, like now the electricity, like now the fuel prices, do away with some taxes, and also opening the servers. Because if the servers are not opened, I repeat and I repeat, Azimio will never win any election. That is the truth of the matter. Azimio will never win the presidency unless the servers are opened and we see clearly that Raila did not win the elections or William Samoei Ruto won the elections. I don't know what you think, but if you ask me, that is the stand that Azimio and Raila Odinga should take. And even Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka should actually stand firm and say that nobody is going to participate in the election unless IBC is reformed and unless you are sure that Baba lost the election. I don't know what you think, but if you ask me, it is very, very important. Have a blessed day.